What's up guys, this is FJ again, and I wanted to make a video to introduce you guys to DBT, or Dialectical Behavioral Therapy. About a year ago, I decided to pursue some help with my mental health. I've had, I guess, some anger management issues in the past, some rage issues with baggage of past relationships and I guess my upbringing. To be as open as I can be in a video like this on YouTube for an introduction, I spent a lot of years after high school, I guess, operating out of guilt and shame. And I have this really heavy weight on my shoulders of not wanting to disappoint people that I care about, specifically family, friends, or my significant other. That's how I operated for a number of years. And it ended up stemming from that shame and guilt into anger. And that's how I chose to express it. So I started the process with approaching my family doctor, and I told him that I would like a psychiatric assessment. How do I go about this? I've never pursued this before. And my doctor was basically saying, oh, why do you want to do that? What's wrong? And I told him, well, I think I have some anger management problems. I have some rage issues that I want to address. He referred me to a psychiatrist in another hospital. I had to wait a couple of months for me to finally have that appointment. I had been doing some research and I thought maybe I had IED, intermittent explosive disorder. Other people suggested that it could be borderline personality disorder or bipolar disorder. I had no idea. So I met up with my psychiatrist. It's weird when you meet someone like that for the first time. You never talked to this person before and you're going to be sharing some deep personal things. So I don't know how comfortable I was supposed to feel. And I straight up asked, I'm like, how much am I supposed to tell you? I don't know how much I'm supposed to share. And he's like, you can share whatever you want. It's up to you. I guess I didn't really feel completely comfortable right away to tell him everything. But based on a number of sessions with my psychiatric assessment, he told me that perhaps I don't have IED, BPD, or bipolar disorder. But he said I am more emotional than the average person. And I can see that. I'm definitely a very emotional person. I don't hold back my feelings and I express a lot of my feelings. And then he was asking me what I thought about anger and why I had such a negative perception of anger. And I told him, well, anger is bad. You know, anger hurts people. Anger leads to pain and suffering of others and yourself. And he's like, no, anger is just an emotion. Same with guilt and shame, same with happiness, love, all the positive emotions too. They're just emotions. You can't control the emotions that you feel. They'll come out naturally based on whatever you're experiencing. I sat back a little bit and I was like, what? You're telling me anger is okay? And he said, all emotions are natural and okay to feel. What's important is how you choose to react to them. So that was like a mind blown moment for me. I didn't realize that it was okay to be angry. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to feel depression sometimes. It's okay to feel guilty. It's okay to feel shame, jealousy, envy. All of those things you feel that are negative emotions that you want to avoid for yourself, it's okay to feel those things because it's natural. Those emotions come out of you whether you want them or not. But what's important is how you react to them, how you choose your actions accordingly based on the emotions that you feel. That took a little while for me to understand. He suggested that I try DBT, Dialectical Behavioral Therapy. The other option is Cognitive Behavioral Therapy. From what I've learned of the difference between CBT, cognitive, and DBT, dialectical, you can rationalize with DBT. You talk it out in terms of trying to understand what you're feeling, being able to react to your emotions in a way that aligns with your core values. The way you think about what the right thing to do is technically correct. You have a good sense of core values and morals. It's just a matter of being able to shift the emotion in that direction and being able to talk it out and convince yourself and put yourself in the mindset so that you can achieve your core values, taking into account what you're feeling at that moment. Cognitive behavioral therapy, those core values in your mind that govern your actions and your morals and your beliefs may not be technically correct. And it's more like a rewiring of your brain. It's more so trying to redefine your core values to put you in the right direction. That's the gist of what was explained to me. Guys, I'm not an expert. I was just a participant in DBT. I have not gone to CBT. A number of the other patients in my group have done both CBT and DBT. I highly recommend DBT to everybody. It really helps with handling stress, grief, or loss, or even on the positive side, if you're a very emotional person like myself, or you're very affectionate, you fall in love really fast and you don't really know how to respond to your emotions in a way where you can still feel like you're in control, DBT is super helpful. The terms that you'll find a lot is mindfulness, meditation, aligning with core values. Emotions are looked at as a negative thing. And I mentioned that before too, even just with anger. But if you're too emotional, you're kind of regarded as crazy or unstable. It's a bad thing to be emotional, and it's a good thing to be rational. It's like, let's be rational here when you're making a decision. Let's do the rational thing. That's what I've been taught growing up. You don't want to make important decisions if your emotions are involved and are shifting your focus. We were taught to cut out our emotions and block our emotions and think in a completely rational way. And it sounds like a good thing. Even just saying it right now, it sounds like that's what you want to do. But what DBT taught me is that's not true. You don't want to make all your decisions absent of your emotions, because if you do that, you're not taking into consideration something that's really a part of you. You want to make a decision not just with a rational mind. You don't want to make it just with the emotional mind. You want to combine them together. You have to mix the two, and that is what they call a wise mind. Mindfulness is a way of reaching that state of having a wise mind. So generally, if you're an emotional person, you react to something, and if it's excitement, anger, happiness, sadness, whatever it is, it's heightened and it's overwhelming. And what happens is you reach this mental state where you feel like you don't have control. It's stressful. They teach you certain skills. Some of them are physical things, some of them are visual things. For me, I guess because of my music background, I find something auditory helps me. I end up focusing on a sound that I hear that's close by. I focus on the volume, the pitch or the frequency, the rhythm, and the pattern. Because I'm such in a high emotional state, it forces my mind to pull back into a rational state, because it's analytical when you focus on patterns or volume and pitch and all that stuff. It's bringing my emotions, settling them back down. And what that allows me to do is bring my emotional state back down to a calm state. And that's when you choose to react to the emotion. It seems like all of this happens in an instant, and it's a skill that you got to work on all the time. I haven't perfected it at all. It's something I have to do every time. First thing is recognition. You have to be able to observe and perceive what is happening. Then you have to recognize that you're reacting, like that you are actually getting triggered. That word is so loaded, the word trigger. We all have baggage from our past, and there are certain triggers that really set you off, that put you in a state that you just, it's hard. It's very difficult. So by recognizing your triggers, being able to recognize that you are in that state where you could remember in the past where you've made bad decisions, or you've said hurtful things, or you've done things that hurt yourself. You have to recognize that right when it happens. And then you employ the skill. For me, it's audio. I start doing that. I bring my mind back to a calm state. I can breathe. I can think wisely. It's not purely emotional. It's not purely rational. It's a combination of the two. One thing I did notice from the facilitators in the program, they will never say something is right or wrong. They can't make that decision for you, because that's coming into redefining your core values, and that's not what it's for. They're not supposed to teach you what's right and wrong or change your beliefs when you're growing up. Whatever your morals are, that's what your morals are. If you ever ask a question about something that's right or wrong, they're gonna turn it around and be like, well, what do you think? Where's your stance on it? The point is, you have already established what your core value is there. It's just sometimes we have a hard time reacting in a way that aligns with that. I hope that makes sense. This ended up being a lot more descriptive than I thought. I hope you don't mind. I kind of just sat here, had no script. We're still in the pandemic quarantine, and this past week has been rough for me emotionally. I live alone, and it's hard. As an emotional, affectionate person, I haven't hugged anybody in like months. Even just a friend, just to greet. It's a difficult time, and I think a lot of people don't realize that everyone's on tilt. At a certain level, everyone's just a little bit more sensitive right now, because it's not normal. This whole thing that we're going through, we're not used to it. It's something that we have to adapt to, and we're still adapting to. And you get the extreme reaction of people protesting and not wanting to do this anymore. Being able to recognize that everyone's going through it helps. You're not alone. I'm not alone. Even though I live alone, I know I'm not alone in how I feel right now. I hope you guys appreciate the fact that I could just be open like this. I do want to help. If you guys are going through anything, the biggest thing that I found has helped me with my mental health and allowing me to follow the lessons is helping others, because it reminds me of what I'm supposed to do for myself. It's really easy to kind of reiterate a lesson to someone, and when you're teaching someone, it reinforces it for you. It's easy to forget things when you're just by yourself, working on yourself. Sometimes you might not want to, but you take certain liberties with yourself. But there's a certain level of extra care when you're trying to help others. This is just not your life that you're affecting. This is someone else's, and there's that certain level of responsibility that you have to take that extra level of attention so you don't steer them in the wrong way. It ends up being very rewarding for yourself. That's why I'm on YouTube. You know, if you've been a subscriber, if you guys have seen my videos in the past, I like to help people in any way. Snowboarding, photography, dating, uplifting videos, cutting your hair, talking about products and reviews like that, just helping people make decisions on what they want to buy. I want to leave a positive impact on the world and on as many lives as I can. I feel like I'm getting emotional right now too, just saying all this stuff, but this is why this video exists and why my channel exists. Oh, wow. Whew. Yeah, it's been an emotional week. So I think I'll stop here. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, wow, woo! If you like this video, please click like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know when the next video is coming out. See guys, I'm emotional. This proves it. Thanks for watching. Maybe I'll just put this up like this, completely raw. Yeah, uncut. All right, guys. Thank you.